Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Humankind, where we spent pretty much the entire last episode just buying time while we got our spear units established. But I think we're past that phase of this war. I think this is the point where we can actually start pushing back and hopefully depleting the Huns' war support. Like, I don't necessarily need to even get anything from them. I just want them to go away so that I can do development stuff. And hopefully we are at the point where we can start making that happen. So, yeah, without any further ado, I guess, let's start making that happen. I want to make sure that we're rushing this guy right at the beginning of the turn. I don't want him going anywhere. I want fight. Make fight. Make fight happen. All right. So now that we've got that stuck, what are these notifications that were popping up? Okay, people are moving up into the next era. We finished standing army, which is awesome. Population's getting born. Cool. That's all very good stuff. Out of curiosity now, can I just do... Yes, they do in fact have the upgrade button, and it's not even expensive to do it. So that's a 6-point gain in raw combat power, plus the phalanx power instead of the guardian power, which I think... It's hard to know exactly how much value phalanx has, but honestly, it would have to be a pretty huge downgrade for this not to be worth doing, because again, 6 raw combat power. What is this event? What happened here? During the recent brutal battle, many soldiers sustained horrific life-changing injuries before returning to Avaris. For some, their whole character has changed, becoming aggressive, demented, or unable to bear others' presence. Others suffer physical wounds, some forced to use crutches or carts to move around. Among the citizens, fear mixes with admiration as they spy them on the streets. Your lead will be vital. How do you welcome your crippled soldiers? We can glorify them, which will move this, unfortunately, a single point toward tradition, which does take us out of the top tier entirely, but we get stability for 10 turns. Or we can use them as useful tools to incite military feeling, which... Boy, I don't love that. I do think that trading 2% food per alliance for 10 stability is obviously good. And also, this effect is more relevant than celebrating is. But I don't feel this is not a good thing to do. We should not be doing this. We're going to take it because it's mechanically correct, but I feel really bad. And then we only have the money to upgrade 3... of these soldiers right now. So do we want to... I guess we do want to upgrade these two. Okay. So, now that we've done that, we got to get up here. Is the best way to approach this going to be going over the river? I'm a little afraid of getting attacked while we're still in the river. Oops, I didn't want to move the part of the army. I wanted to move the whole army. There we go. Yeah, we'll head down the river and see. Over here, this should be a fairly easy battle for us. Let's just go ahead and get this resolved. I'm a little surprised they didn't retreat, honestly. Yeah, this is as close as we can start. So yeah, they're gonna start up on the high ground. We're gonna have to go to them, obviously. And because we have to do this, they get to do an attack from the high ground on us, but we gotta take the flag or we lose the battle. And boy, oh boy, do I not want to give them even more war support. Okay. A victory for us. Sadly, that does use up all of the movement of both of these units. You, the healthier one, you also get upgraded. What does this do? Okay, I just pay to heal you. Leveling them up seems to do a fine job of that, honestly. I'm going to have this unit sort of function as a scout now. We're going to move forward this way and see if any more stuff is coming up from green, because I don't really care if they die. Dead. These people have dead. Oh, I was like, is this unit's already marked as dead? The game knows exactly what I'm planning. But no, it meant that the empire that they used to belong to no longer exists. So... I'm going to try to back off on production of people for the moment. I mean, obviously, we've paid a lot of points of population to have this standing army, And at this point, I think we really need to focus on rebuilding our cities. So +2 food on river tiles. We're currently exploiting 2 river tiles. It's fine, not great. We could kick in on the stone rings. At some point, those should probably get finished. The city actually has pretty poor stability overall. We're trending northward, but maybe it would be a good idea to start building up like the public fountains and stuff. So let's see, that's a dry grass tile. We got some rocky field, and there's more out here. So yeah, we're exploiting a fair amount of rocky field tiles. Actually, let's build a stoneworks. We'll finish the troops that we're building in the other 2 cities. Okay. All right, and what are we going for next with our pretty solid rate of research? We could jam through a lot of text very quickly here, which will allow us to pick up quite a bit of fame. Let's grab fishing next, because we actually could build harbors. It would be meaningful. Ooh, philosophy gives us city cap. Actually, let's push to that, and then we'll go for fishing. So writing first, then plus city cap, then the other thing. Because I would love to get my my influence production back. So how many technologies we need? We need 5 technologies for the first era star, 4 more kills for the second combat star. We're way off on gold. Gold gets a lot harder to get the stars for later in the game. We'll be doing fine on influence once we get our city cap fixed. So okay, I don't feel too bad about where we are right now. Let's hope that green has sort of spent their fury, that they do not have a lot of new units coming up to meet us. Because I would love for this war to come to an end, like sometime soon. All right, you all head up from here. Maybe I shouldn't be committing 100% of my units to this. Do I want to just run up the river? I guess, yeah, you can get out of this valley up here. I have no idea, by the way, why the sound keeps dropping out. That is happening for me too. Okay, well, it looks remarkably quiet. Man, look at the number of river tiles this city gets to exploit. That's actually really nice. You have a defender stand in the middle of all of that river. Everything that's attacking you comes from lower ground and is standing in a river tile. That's very powerful. I guess it's a strong argument for settling adjacent to the river rather than on the river. In our case, settling adjacent to the river would have been settling adjacent to a different region, so we wouldn't have gotten as many tiles of exploitation. And I don't necessarily think that it would have been the right call. But there are definitely good reasons to do it, at least some of the time. I am not quite able to do that. And of course, here comes purple just being in my way for no reason at all. What a moment for you to do this. I swear to God. So what are you? You're just a swordsman, just a normal this era unit. Having your city actually be on the river is nice though, because your units spawn on the river and they can then move up and down it without having to spend a turn doing that thing. So how is war support going here? They're still losing 3 per turn. They haven't gained any in quite some time. Yeah, declaring war without your people thinking that you have a good moral standing to do so seems like a real problem. Okay, so here comes another full-sized Hunnic horde. Let's have you fall back to the garrison and be ready to defend. I wonder if it's the same Hunnic horde, actually. I wonder if they just, like, ran. Because I don't... The army that put an outpost up in Baekdu seems to have disappeared. I think I will have these folks turn around. Okay, so this city finished building that. We can rebuild our artisans' quarter, I guess. Probably ought to. And then Yeah, I would in fact like the iron. We don't have a use for it right now, but I bet we'll find one. And I would really love to stop having to build military units. It would be super cool if we could just have infrastructure time now. Here, you stand in that. And you are just it's a little too expensive to buff you up. That's a shame. All right, like I said, you guys come back here. All right, we're going to want to execute this move as quickly as possible at the beginning of next turn so that if these attack, we at least have the reinforcements to repel in place. Yep, and they are just going to be an absolute nightmare. This could make it impossible for me to go where I want. Boy, it sure is nice that green has both the neutrals and purple working for them full time. It's coming out of nowhere to ruin my my moves here. All right, you report up there as well. So sadly, it's going to be quite a few turns before we have our city cap problem fixed. All right, you're exactly where you need to be. So what I would really like to do is, first of all, execute this move very quickly, and secondly, purchase this upgrade. No, both of you move forward. Why would you separate? What would compel you to think that that was what I was... Okay, whatever. Let's merge this up. And we have an event here. As your horizons widen, your armies grow in lockstep with your ambitions. I suppose that's true. Now, with military power spread over several regiments, it is time to decide the nature of the soldiers who compose your armies. Let's talk a little bit about that. So, who should fight for the Empire? We can conscript our warriors, which will lower the cost of hiring in new units, or we could have a professional soldier class. Forged from the youngest age, professional warriors will give us stronger armies. It moves this slider from authority toward liberty, which I think is a good move for us. I think we're going to take this. +1 combat strength on all of our soldiers is definitely a compelling thing. So again, here comes green with all of the stuff. I guess it just took them a while to build multiple armies worth of units. Oh. They attacked me here. Why?
Follow me.
For what reason would you do such a thing? Okay, they're gonna auto deploy. Yep, I mean, you do that, and then I kill you really easily. Because, maybe that unit is supposed to have, like, maybe the way we're supposed to understand that is they made that move before they realized this army was here. They tried to do a 1v1, and it just didn't work out because, you know. All right. So if Purple's army is just going to sit here forever, that's a problem for me. I don't really want to fight them, but I think we're going to have to kill these guys to get them out of the way. This is going to generate grievances with Purple, and their territory is not that far from mine. But I need to burn this and then get this army south, and you cannot just sit here and be in my way. Probably the healthiest one should be up top here, surely. In fact, your job should be to stand down there. Yeah. We want to make sure that we're, obviously, that we're providing as much morale to this unit as possible.
All right.
Huh. There it is. Let's see, where the hell's the enemy? Okay, you can't make it up there, so I guess just stand here. So the phalanx bonus is just an extra 1 point. It's still pretty good, though. You know, an extra 1 point does matter. You, I think, you will not actually attack. And in fact, next turn, you're going to move forward so these guys can come up and... I'm sure they're going to make, yeah, they're going to make that attack on their turn, because of course, why would you not? So you fill in the space here. You know, I didn't tell you to do that. You didn't have to do that. If we had waited another turn to wait to see if they would move, then attacking next turn would have spent all of our movement, and I wanna hit Big Dude now. So do we need to generate more military units here, actually? Maybe we do. I really want to let flood irrigation get finished, though. In this city, it's so incredibly good. Yeah, all right. Put him in the queue before this thing. We'll get that holy site built eventually.
So nice to hear from you.
So 35, trending down 11 points this turn. We're getting close. So we can propose peace if we get them to... If we had grievances. If they committed grievances against us. I might argue that they did by settling through me like that, but apparently the game doesn't consider that to be one of the grievances. Up into the city over here. So yeah, they're gonna cause some problems. Is that a full... Okay, no, that's just an outpost. Well, let's get to ransacking it. That's upgrade money, at least. So all we need to do is not lose battles against them for a couple of turns. Which I hope we can do. So what is your combat strength? 28. So obviously, we're operating at a significant advantage with our hoplites because we are about the same combat strength, but we get the massive anti-cavalry bonus. But right now, moving up to fight them, even though that other unit is outside of reinforcement range, it's still 3 to 4, and they're ranged units and stuff. We really, really need to get the attack. We need to not be the defender, but it's going to be tough to set that system up right. All right, and Purple's annoyed with me.
How do you do?
I'm annoyed with you too. So, you know? They demand that we pay $900, or the grievance will fall away in time, unless I upset them enough to declare war on me over it in that time. We're getting pretty close to ending the war. One hopes.
Come, relax. Let us speak honestly.
I know what number it is, but my... I feel compelled to keep checking. All right, we do have 2 more civics up. What are the civics that we have up? There was, okay, this thing, which is extremely not worth spending influence on. And then, yeah, this thing, which is extremely not worth spending influence on. Okay. All right, the iron is ours. We have to sit still for 1 more turn on that. Got an event. Leadership. How do we lead? Oh, we lead by increasing our city cap, for sure. So we can push hard in this direction. Small council or an autarch? Do we have a leader with absolute will? No, absolutely not. All right, so that has dramatically increased our influence output. Very good news. I wonder if we could take them here. So the combat strength preview there is, I think, not incorporating the anti-cavalry bonus. I think it's doing some pretty simple math. So we might actually have an advantage right now. It is at least possible. So they're going to lose some war support when this finishes, I bet. Actually, I don't know. Like, that could generate a grievance, I suppose. I would think that it would be sort of the same as losing a battle, right? They lost military assets. Yeah, hopefully that's the way the game sees it. And now that you've done that, what else shall you do? Do we have... Ah, there's another saffron here. Well... Or this is silk, sorry. I kind of want to get my unique district down. Stability in this city is trending real bad, though. Probably what we need to do is get public fountains. Yeah, we got to be cautious with our stability. I want to spend more time managing it, and we will totally do that when we do not have so much military management to do. All right, yeah, people are moving around. We have successfully plundered stars and stuff. Players are going to war.
Come, relax.
Yes, the loss of an administrative center has, in fact, done a huge amount of damage to their desire to war. So we don't necessarily have to fight them. If they don't feel like there's a good place where they can make inroads, I kind of like the way this represents, like, this is a thing that happens in real wars, right? Where, and far be it from me to ever claim that realism is a good thing in game mechanics, because it is overwhelmingly, you know, a completely irrelevant concern. But this is kind of an interesting way of modeling the way that, like, an aggressive nation fighting an aggressive war can find themselves sort of like bogged down. If they can't find a place to make gains, it can just sort of drain resources and turn into a real opinion problem at home. And this is kind of cool, actually. So we also got enough money out of that to upgrade this soldier. I think this is the more relevant one to do. Word has come to you that the annual festival in Babylon has added a foot race to the revelries. The short race is most popular among the worshippers and has given you an idea. During this time of peace, there is danger the Empire's armies will lose their edge. This single race could be expanded into a series of games, where rival cities and fighting units send athletes to compete against each other for prestige. What type of games do you wish to promote, though? I mean, it simply is not the case that we are in a time of peace. But all right, so we could get +7 combat strength? What? That is fearsome. That's a big effect. And that would move that, I mean, nowhere, right? It's in the middle and it would stay in the middle. We can give +1 movement speed, or entrance will compete in games of logic, giving us +30 science total for 10 turns. What's our current? That's actually really huge. So mind and strength are both bananas, and I think we can win this war without strength. Yeah, that's like it's almost a 50% boost in our science output. I think I'd be very silly to turn that down. All right. I think we do actually have to take them to 0 in order for them to accept peace where they don't get anything. So I guess we're just gonna wait another couple of turns here. And in the end, we will have 2 full stacks of units, which is at least enough for us to be like able to ward off initial pushes by people. Like, it's a good idea to have some standing army, right? It is very tempting to try to get away with not doing it. It's always better not to build soldiers if you can get away with it. But you cannot always get away with it. Okay, they're besieging. That's not a problem.
Come, relax.
Yeah, it doesn't fix their war support issue. So you can still buy things out in a city that is under siege, but you can't normally build things. I mean, I feel like if we get this army into that region, then we probably just win. We can just fight that battle and actually win it. And they'll be able to join up next turn. So yeah, for the moment, we endure. All right, so we got plus city cap again. We also don't actually have to fight them. We are listed as having a slight benefit here. They are surrendering. They will give us $2,000. I accept. We could fight. Where am I at on my violence star? So we could get almost 200 fame from fighting if we take down 2 of their units, and then they're still going to pay us out. The only danger is if I somehow screwed this up and generated war score for them, then they would obviously they would not necessarily be willing to give up the war. And then on top of that, of course, it must be noted, we are not likely to win without casualties, probably, so there is that concern. Like, is it worth potentially losing units? I don't think so. We need 2 units. We can find some neutral armies to fight. There's still a hostile state nearby. Let's just accept the surrender and we'll go fight neutrals for our star. I'm into it. You've done a terrible job at war. You deserve to lose. All right, reset war support. New grievance available. Trespassing. I demand that you repay my stuff. This will generate some war support for both of us. I demand.
There is no need for it.
Let's see. Let's see if they go for it. They have a lot more money than I do. It would be cool if they were willing to give some of that up. Alright, the ongoing war is a draining experience for the Empire, and your many armies fighting across the land costing you capital... your many armies, there's no and there. Fighting across the land costing you capital, resources, and, of course, blood. I mean, it's not my blood. The question of funding these endeavors should be addressed. You're probably right. So, how do we finance our armies? Pay or plunder? So plus 50, if we do paid wages, plus 50% money from ransacking, but they lose combat strength when ransacking, or the other way. I mean, so this will push toward just raw food. This way it'd push toward food from alliances again, which I don't necessarily know that we're going to make a lot of friends. I think this effect is better, but I don't really want to push the bar in this direction. And honestly, I'm just going to not do either. I don't think either one of those effects is worth the influence that they cost to fire. So yeah, done with that. I am going to finish this unit, and then let's get back to infrastructure stuff. And do I want to just keep y'all around? Maybe. Wow, this city's doing really well on stability, actually. Oh, plus 15 stability from units. So if you just have a standing army in... Okay, that's actually really interesting. And for what stability is supposed to represent, I guess it makes sense. Okay, so... Yeah, definitely a good idea to have some standing armies then. Have people who can just walk around and chill out your cities. So... We do probably still need public fountains, but man, I really want to spend this time building other stuff. I'm very worried about our stability. You don't get that much from flood irrigation right away. I really wish that they had not built their districts directly into the wall of the region. It's like a very annoying way to do that. Here, start contributing to the holy site. We gotta get our holy site finished. It is also a source of industry, right? You put some work into it, and do I want to just buy this out? No, I want to get these done too. So we want to build these adjacent to districts, but we don't particularly want to build them adjacent to our to our astronomers' houses, because we want the astronomers' houses to only have farmers' districts adjacent to them. So like something like this is a good idea. Build it here, and then we build the farmer district there, and it benefits both of them. We might want to pursue those pretty aggressively. I mean, we do need to get the holy site done too. Yeah, all right. Get the holy site done, and we'll figure out the other stuff afterward. So you all are gonna stay put. Actually, we'll have the 4-unit army go fight neutrals. Got ourselves some fishing and some population. And this is not just fighting neutrals, right? This is also... how do I want to approach this? I guess I want to approach up this way. Yeah. It's not just fighting neutrals. It's also potentially putting down new districts and stuff, right? Because we do want to keep claiming territory on top of everything else that we're doing. I'm going to put you in station mode, in fact. Just chill out here. So domestication is completely free. We just have enough science overflow. Let's just grab that because, you know, technologies are worth a lot of fame for us right now. So we do want to probably just go back and grab the whole backlog real fast. Right? These are quick and easy. And then hydrology offers an upgrade to the previous public hygiene building. Oh, watermills. Watermills are very important. Can I actually make that first? We'll get this other stuff, but we definitely want watermills. All right, next technology gets us the first era star on that, and it's still worth quite a lot. We're now pushing toward these athlete stars pretty quickly. Yeah, I think we've stabilized well. Is it possible to... We could dump a bunch of money on these people and just take their city. That's going to generate a grievance with purple.
How do you do? In every sense of the question.
And purple is a traitorous, impulsive, militarist society with +2 combat strength on their emblematic units and... Oh, interesting. They're a vassal. I was reading that backwards. They're a vassal of yellow. It is not the case that they have vassalized yellow. So actually, it doesn't matter how they feel about us. They can't declare war on me. Apparently, we attacked some Persians at Baekdu. Did we? Is that talking about Purple's armies? Because that was at Baekdu where that happened, but that wasn't... That was more recent than... I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that much time has already passed. But basically, I think we want to be friends. Okay. This is a thing we could do. We could buy access to some of their resources that people do like the people that they are trading with. Oh. That's a cool affinity. I don't know where that's listed. Expansionist. But okay, they can always trespass. Oh, that's anyone. Sorry, that's an affinity, like on the culture. This thing, anybody who is an expansionist can always trespass. That's actually a really cool element of that affinity. So they feel that they are stronger than we are, and the trust between us is deteriorating in no small part because they are just kind of mean jerks. Everybody's traitorous and vindictive. Well, I would like to be friendlier. I'm going to propose this. I was kind of hoping you can accept a proposal, or you can refuse one, or you can say, I'll do it if you pay me. And I was kind of hoping that that's where they would come down on that for us, because I was ready to pay them. Also, we're totally going to pay them for this. We're going to buy access to their marble, which gives +2 industry on workers, obviously very powerful. We're going to buy access to their salt. We already have salt. Does salt... Do multiple copies of a thing multiply its effectiveness? So is this city receiving food from 16 from exploitations, 31 from districts. This is the thing, I'm still not 100% clear on how all of the bonuses work. So plus 16 food from luxury resources, that's not the number that I'm expecting. This is receiving no food from luxury districts. So do we not even share them across the regions of our own empire? Huh. There will probably, in the final version, be a tutorial that explains how these things are applied a little bit better. For right now, I do not fully understand, but I am going to use my considerable cash from this war to buy access to a bunch of your stuff, in part because it will help us a little bit, and in part because it makes them like us better. I want to be friends. I want to be friends with Yellow because that makes me automatically immune to shenanigans from Purple. And then they're gaining a pretty small amount per turn, it looks like. I think we're going to dump resources into this and try to gain Phaistos. So it's going to be a lot of money. All right, 10 per turn. We're gonna just race past everybody here. And we're producing enough influence per turn that we should be able to buy them out by the time our opinion with them has risen enough. There are trade routes running through an administrative center here. Okay. They're just going to generate annoying zone of control along the path that I want to move on. Not an accident, by the way. For sure, a thing they are doing on purpose, and I hate them very much for it. All right, the Holy Site will be finished really soon, with all 3 cities working on it. A new grievance is available. What's up?
I hope this is a friendly discussion.
Trespassing. I demand that you pay me.
Darkness will fall upon your lands.
Wait, did they do it? No. Okay, here we still have 2 demands.
All is lost.
They're not doing it. They're not going for it.
Lost.
They're still feeling pretty hate-filled. I mean, no big surprise there. I'm not sure why it bumped us back over to relations here. I mean, we have an awful lot of war support coming up against them. We can make this really ugly if we want. Should I close my borders to them? Just to deal with this unit that's running around? Maybe. It's not going to make anything any more pleasant between us. No, actually, my borders are close to them. That's right, because they closed borders on us, and that's 2-way. But this unit was already within our border. I don't know if that's why they are still allowed to run around through our stuff or not, but okay, 2 turns on that. Yeah, everybody contribute until that is done. Could you please go away? I think they're thinking about doing the thing over here. All right, Yellow has kicked in a little bit of money on this. You can see nobody else is gaining at nearly the rate we're gaining, though. So we're in good shape to overtake on that, thanks to the huge amount of money we got from that war. Your merchants trek the world, reaching great markets in far climes and selling your highly prized natural riches for much coin. Conversely, your empire sees many traders from distant lands visit our plazas with their goods, and their wit, and their provocative ideas. When their knowledge contradicts the wisdom of your elders, it raises the question of who you should trust. So +1 science per number of trade routes on each city or outpost, or +1 science per researcher, per person set to research. So this moves us out of the high level on progress, so I'm not inclined to do that, but I don't think we're going to spend a large amount of influence on either of these options right now. Let's let this situation resolve before we go doing that. All right, here comes some Era Stars. Hydrology earns us 1. Then we have a couple of technologies coming in very quick succession afterward. So do I want to put down an outpost in here? How much is that going to be? 50? That's not so bad. Yeah, just run down here and drop an outpost next to the river or directly on the river. I think that's actually a good idea. Let's move this way and claim this region so that I don't have to worry about green trying to claim this region again. And I think that's well worth the cost. Okay, same deal here. I definitely want to build an amphitheatron. That is adjacent to the astronomy house. So I would rather do it like here. And we can afford the stability loss. It's not a big deal. We should probably pick up some of this other stuff, though. Like, probably it's a pretty good idea in this region for us to get a water mill, because we have a ton of water, a ton of river tiles. We should also probably be very focused here. So I think it's moving our citizens around automatically, and I would kind of like for it to not do that. Is there a way to... Okay, expert policy. Let me drive the ship, please. I think I do pretty much just I want to focus on industry first, then people. How many people do we need over here to get that to 1 turn? I do want to get the faster we're getting these researches done, the more money the more era score they will be worth, the more fame rather they will be worth. Let's commit real hard to industry over here. Again, the river is only kind of okay. Let's get that done. And since we're not building anything that is terribly pressing, I think I will refocus on population there. And again, balanced is almost certainly going to be wrong always. Like there is a thing that it is best for you to focus on. You should definitely be focused. I think this is how we'll run stuff here for right now. Maybe we get our two, you know what? Maybe we get our two people working science from here instead. No, I mean, the city's a little unproductive because the population is low. Let's focus on that. All right. I want to make sure we do this nice and early before green has a chance to take it for the turn. What did you run out of? They did. They represented that as a thing they could do in 1 turn, and then they ran out of resources. Well, the large number of farming districts has led to a blossoming of knowledge of plants for health, sustenance, and medicine. So as you can probably tell from the text of a lot of these, they're supposed to trigger under particular conditions, meaning that you will not necessarily see all of the same events, or at least all of the same events with the same timing and order in each game. I'm not 100% sure they're firing on the right things here. We don't have a large number of farming districts. We certainly have some. With the Empire at peace and, for the moment, stable enough to support such a move, never before has there been a better time to make official the status of your most learned brothers and sisters. Do you wish to found such a caste? We could use this time of peace and plenty to instead focus on army stuff. Or, yeah, we can establish... It seems prudent to have wise men and women who know crops among our population. Correct, and also mechanically pretty solid. All right, so we'll found that next turn. And then what I would really like to do is kill 2 units from this faction and then claim them. We'll see if that is a thing we can actually do. Wow, the cost of that is going to be very high. We see that number bounce around quite a bit over the course of... we saw that number bounce around quite a bit with the first people we did it to, so I'm not going to stress too much about it for the moment. All right, we have become a patron. Go ahead and do this thing. All right, bake do. Mine. So, what do you have? You just have spears. Hi. Do you need something? Am I allowed to just kill them? They seem to have been having a rough go of it. We are in fact just going to battle them. This is gonna create a little bit of grievance, but also I'm tired of them running around ruining everything in my territory. Our vision is so poor. If you run up here, can you see across? Nope. Okay. Actually, yes, a little bit. That did, in fact, give us some vision. A unit cannot attack this round. For what reason? Shouldn't we be able to? Huh. Okay, this one can. Yeah, it's not clear to me why we can't attack up that, because that's not a cliff. You're not going to be able to make that attack. You can just back up a step. I'm a little worried that if I don't attack here, I'm gonna move this guy up to the cliff, and it's gonna tell me I'm not allowed to attack him either. Yep, despite the fact that that is not how the... I wonder why. Okay, and then the fleeing. It is to be expected. We get that easy kill. We don't quite kill this unit, probably, which is a shame, because obviously my goal here was to kill 2 units. And you fall back to here. This unit has a 1-tile range, so. Okay, we don't actually lose anything. They are defeated, which it simultaneously generates a grievance but lowers their war support. So
I demand either recompense.
They're not going to pay, right? I'm going to keep trying, but I can't imagine they're going to pay. Because they're not afraid of me. And I get it. I see where they're coming from on that one. All right, so it's gonna take us some time. I'm really bummed out about the fact that we only killed 1 of them there. We were really close on a second. That does not put me in much of a position to fight with neutrals. But so maybe it's just what's generating the grievances. Maybe it's the case that it doesn't matter for the purposes of actually being able to move through my territory that our borders are closed. It doesn't have the magic enforcement powers that it has in other games, but rather it just makes it so that grievances are generated if they do it. All right, I'm willing to lose a unit or 2. I hate that my zone is down here instead of up, like, you know, usually the forward tile of this is focused on the unit, but because there's no way up here within the battle zone, it's going to do it this way, which really sucks. Well, this is how we will set up. Yep, they're going to set up way back there. It's the only thing that they can do that makes any kind of sense, really. And then we're going to step up and just absolutely annihilate them. Let's move as many of our units in as we can first, just to get bonuses. Sadly, doesn't quite get there. Oh, can you do it? Do you have the ability, Scout? No, probably not. I probably just killed you by moving you in there. Well, it's fine. I did not have a lot of use for this Scout anyway. I mean, it says 5 to 25. Yep, he didn't get there. There was a chance, I think. It is like just hardcore ridiculous that they were able to survive that, but fine. We got our star out of it. The Empire's religion grows very slowly. We actually have some faith income now, so it is doing that. More and more followers coming into the faith every day. Some practice their beliefs through ceremonies led by priests, while others guide their own worship. It is time to give a blessing to one of these means. Official blessing. So we can lower the cost of our religious districts, or we can unlock the procession action, which allows us to turn money into stability while moving this bar toward industry rather than money making. I actually think this is probably a good idea. If stability is going to be more of a problem, having more ways to generate it in emergency situations sounds pretty smart, but I don't know if I want to spend influence on it right now.
I hope our little chat is as unpleasant for you as it is for me.
So I guess fighting them in my own territory doesn't generate grievances for them. That makes sense. We've generated a huge amount of war support for us, and they have basically gotten none. I'm going to make even more demands on you. We'll see what happens. As long as their war support is low, you know, that's I think what's most important to keeping us relatively safe from them. So if I put this down here, it's going to generate 8 food and 5 additional science for this city. And then we're probably going to have to start thinking about other stuff, but like, that's a lot of additional yields. You two are still doing the things that I think make sense for you to be doing. It is very hard to buy out. It's very, very hard to buy out buildings at this point in the game. They're extremely expensive. And this now says 4156. So our global proximity is very poor. They are all the way at the left side of the tradition meter, and they're all the way at the left side of this thing too. That value continuing to rise is probably going to prevent us from being able to take them over. I thought we had a real move there. I thought we had a play. Okay, what do we want next? 15% ransack gains. Units get extra XP when created. We still don't actually have access to horses. A better quality of automatic home guard unit is definitely the sort of thing that you need to have researched before you need it. You'll probably not have time to go back and get it when it becomes important. Craftsmanship gets us bonus industry from Maker's Quarters. Artisan Workshop is very good, and we have the iron to build them already, so maybe we should go for that. Trade expeditions into that. So that's just a lot of extra food. The colony model is pretty important. I'm just trying to I'm looking ahead here to see what things we should be working toward. And the fact is, I don't really know. The Commons Quarter gives stability and influence. That's certainly a useful thing. Yeah, let's do craftsmanship. We'll go through trade expeditions to craftsmanship. And we do now have 7 era stars, but if we can pick up more fame this era, we should grab fame where it is convenient and easy. Both convenient and easy. That's the only place. So what are we still missing? I think that 5 more unit kills for this era star is probably a little unrealistic without, burning our army very badly. The second one of these would be nice. We can definitely get the 3rd athlete star. We're doing very well on that. We have some pickup stars, in case you were wondering why you can only see 5 here, but we're allowed to move up. The longer you spend in an era behind the person who is in the forwardmost era, the more you are given the ability to catch up with these competitive stars. But these don't actually give you fame. So, given that the point of the game is to accumulate as much fame as possible, you still have to make sure that you're doing this. If you're just moving up as quickly as possible, you're probably going to find yourself at the end of the game behind in a way you can never catch up from. No matter how quickly you advance through eras, fame is important. What? We have a message from them, but I know not what. There's no grievances or demands. It said, there was a red line. I don't know. I don't know what they want. They're not being very chatty. All right, for the moment, I guess let us just press forward. So we need to spend some time healing. I mean, I would love to run over and grab that. if we can do so without getting ourselves into trouble here. It probably won't even be very much stuff, but free resources, right? Who doesn't love free resources? And then I guess our gold is really, at this point, for pouring into buildings. The watermill is going to help us a lot. +2 industry on each river tile is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 additional industry for this city. It's like almost a 1/3 increase. So that's what I would be inclined to spend money on. Our other cities can build stuff for the moment. All right, and we're going to be in the top row here, in the top tier with them, in just a moment. And unfortunately, it's gonna be a thing that we're not really able to do anything about. All right, step up onto the high ground, get me the good vision. Obviously, I don't want to necessarily spend a lot of time outside of my own territory right now when I could be healing. So we're headed toward this. Yeah, all right, let's make the run for it. So how much cheap technology is there still available? We got all the stuff from the previous era. So we can get trade expeditions and fortification, and how much do we need? We need 4. That might be sitting in the era for too long. But you know, we don't even have our emblematic district built in most of these, and I would really like to get one of those down. So we probably ought to focus on that. I do think it's critical that we get the watermill finished. As soon as this thing is done, we should probably build one of them. It'll let me just build it over the old district. We could just build it right here, too. Like, this is perfectly fine. Yeah, I think that's a sensible place to do that. All right, once we have those done, then maybe we think about moving on. All right, we got population growing all the time. There's combat happening up there. Trying to be very cautious with my units. Okay, this is a rented independent army. What would be the cost to attach this right now? In case we needed to... I didn't mean to actually do it. Wait, where did it attach? It attached to Avarice. That is where I would have done it. I went to mouse over it, and I had a little finger twitch there, and I clicked. I mean, it's fine. Avarice did not probably need the help. Avarice is already very productive, but I don't feel bad having done it. So we can build these. We can build one of these in each region. And we probably should. They're worth a ton of science. What do I think I'm going to build and where? Yeah, let's put it down here, I guess. So 3 turns on that. So yeah, we did not end up spending very much influence on that. It was pretty cheap. This is just, it feels completely out of reach. I did not realize that the number was going to adjust to that, and I'm still not 100% sure how that number was arrived at. Alright, yep, people are moving up in era. There's only so much I can do about it. 30 whole science? You know, I said that in a shitty way. That's an amount of science I do care about. I'm not allowed to enter their territory, so we're just gonna go back here and then run back around the way we came. So, where are we at on agrarian stars? Because I kind of don't want to move forward yet. The First one is in 7 population points. We can probably get that. Not that I'm angling for that specifically. I wouldn't stay in this era for a first star necessarily at this point, but if we're sticking around to make sure that we can build some of our emblematic districts, then it is not unreasonable for us to get that as well, I think. Run away from the purple units before they can take advantage of my indecision. Oh. Also, a new grievance available. Is green still trespassing?
It's always so excruciating to hear from you. There is no need for
I continue to demand.
a small gift.
They're never gonna go for these. At some point, perhaps we can threaten them. So that's a Mongol horde. They're sticking to very much the same strategy as they are continuing to era up. And they are, to some extent, just broadcasting to us that that is what's happened, that they are continuing to gain eras. All right, we're getting multiple births per turn on some turns. That's pretty good. We found a curiosity. Ruined huts providing an outpost. That's neat. I don't know if that's necessarily where I would have built that outpost, but it's cool to get that for free. The Empire's reputation as an oasis of learning and knowledge grows. Together with the reigning peace, philosophers from faraway lands flock to your cities to exchange ideas. One has studied that great fiery visitor in the heavens that rises and sets without fail every day. They have proven the sun is an orb of vast distance from our world and not a celestial god. Should you open your people's eyes to these new vistas, well, it feels like gaining learning is probably the smartest thing we could be doing at this moment. We could mythologize and push this bar back in the other direction and gain a faith bonus for a little while, and I bet this would reduce the cost of assimilating that minor empire, but I really want bonus science. This time it's only 15 per turn for 10 turns, but still, like, every little bit matters. So do we want to connect this to Sus? And then that has us 3... Oh no, we're 3 districts away. Where are we at on Expansionist? We're 2 territories away from picking up another star as well. If we had gotten... Oh, all of a sudden this dropped to 800. So our global proximity is considered to be 0. What is the determining factor in the price of this? I don't know, but we have city cap available. We're going to go ahead and do that. The Mongols immediately forgave the grievance that this was their independent people, which is very big of them. Also, it objectively was not their independent people, so... let's put this down over here where we're going to be able to continue building around it. But yeah, that's your job. Make that happen, and try to make it happen as fast as possible, please. All right, got it down to 7. So you're building in 2 turns, you're building in 5. We now need only a single region attached to a city. So actually, this region is currently not attached to anything. We just connect this up to Sus, and it, yeah, gives us the star. Okay. Excellent news. We're definitely going to get that, that agrarian star as well. And we're working on this builder star, not like as a plan, but just because, you know, we want to get all of our emblematic districts up. Where do I think I'm going to build out from here? Because I want to put this around the place where I am eventually going to build more districts, right? Building some defensive stuff up on the high ground is maybe worthwhile, but we're more likely to build industry type stuff out into the forest. Let's build it here. All right, and then once we have a swath of these completed, we will move into the next era. How are we doing on fame compared to everybody else? Well, I mean, we're not in last. We're moving beyond some people. I think we've really stunted the growth of green. They seem to be having a tough time with the position that we've left them in. So 5 turns, 2 turns. So we really want to put some gold into this one. If only we had more gold. That said, it is absolutely not worth reassigning people from industry to gold, especially since we get more industry per worker than we do money. Because it is already the case that on buyout, like a gold gives you the effect, it's like 8 gold to 1 industry. I think conversion is something like that. So it's very, very bad in the first place. And we should probably get this army moving this way, because we are going to need to explore up here. It looks like there's another independent people here that we should probably make contact with. All right, what's up? In the prosperous city of Phaistos, a game of dice has become a favorite pastime of the poor and wealthy alike. What was once entertainment is now serious business. Whereas the poor play for scraps, the stakes could be much higher for the city's wealthy. Now, one incredibly rich citizen has gambled away his entire fortune to a fellow citizen, leaving him destitute. That does not directly sound like my problem. What is your say on gambling? I don't have a strong opinion on this, if I'm honest. That will move us into get a lot of influence, but we'll also lose 10 stability everywhere. It's probably still worth doing. We can prohibit gambling, which will gain stability for a while but lose industry, and move this bar toward homeland. Or instead of indulging philosophers, we should create gambling houses where the taxes can be collected. So we get 20 science effectively. I think I really like that this will move us over into the Liberty area. I think we want that influence really badly. I haven't looked at our cultural pressure and stuff. It seems like we're doing a pretty good job. Seems like we are exerting a lot of blue cultural pressure. Yeah. It's good to have influence. It's very helpful, it turns out. So let's just keep on keeping on here. Uh-oh. Avarice is having problems. We've gotten positively mutinous. All right. When a city is in the mutinous state, there's a higher chance of receiving narrative events with negative impacts. The city might be subject to revolt. Okay, yeah, I've built out too many districts. Will you be fine if the army leaves? You totally will. Okay. Let's move these units into Avarice for the moment, just to calm things down. Although yeah, this will be fine for the moment. I don't know that this mechanic makes a lot of sense necessarily. Uh-oh. Bad luck. The decision to not interfere with wagers on games of dice in Phaistos has proven most unwise. Across the Empire, gambling is now embedded deep in the cultural fabric, and many people bet more than they can afford on everything from cockfights to the outcomes of battles. In debt and desperate for money, many holdings have fallen into disrepair as farmers sacrifice crops for short-term gain. All of your cities lose 5 food for 10 turns. Snake eyes indeed. And this city having 4 military units in it, it seemed like it was 5 stability per military unit. So that should be very helpful. I would hope. Do we have, oh, we don't have the highest level of our public hygiene building, so we can work on that. And then I need to stop expanding this city until we get it resolved a little bit. And we can put up a garrison or 2. That'll help a little bit. And it will continue to build districts around the thing that wants districts around it. So that is probably pretty obviously the idea. Yeah, we can get another copy of a luxury good. We can also start building harbors. So you're not allowed to build harbors in ocean water. Building a harbor out here is going to be kind of whatever. Let's focus on this. Let's get this done first. We are going to continue food focusing this city because we can get away with it, basically. I think, yeah, this makes sense. We are growing the population here very, very quickly. And obviously, I don't have to tell you, I love that a great deal. All right. Also, we are considerably past the hour. All right, let's do one more turn. I want to try to get avarice settled here. Oh, a player was eliminated. Wow. I mean, there's stuff going on in other parts of the world, right? Okay, so we should be trending... I was expecting that to make us trend higher. So yeah, there's a bunch of minus stability from... Oh, number of territories is also causing stability issues. Interesting. We're going to have to deal with that. So... The city won't produce more districts. Will it work on other stuff? Like if I put this in the queue, okay. It will build other things. It just won't build a district because the district is going to create more instability. Okay. What is the threshold? Oh, there are no wonders available. Okay. I was gonna say, if we're not close to the threshold for another wonder, I may go and I clicked the wrong button here entirely. Let's go to that civic that was gonna let us spend money to make approval happen. Let's buy that, and then let's maybe do a procession here if I can figure out how to do it. How does one procession? Is there a button? It said unlocks the action. Is it a thing you do with an army, maybe? An army has a procession through a city? Doesn't look like it. I'd really like to spend money in this city to temporarily raise the approval level. Okay, you know what? I will figure this out. I'll go look it up in between videos. You are... Oh, there used to be a border here. Now there is not. Okay, we don't know what happened to those people. Let's just do a little bit of exploration. Oh, hey, we got some geysers here, so extra science and industry. I mean, I don't want to spend my money on raising influence. Or on raising stability. I want to spend my money on this. This city's trending toward bad stability as well. We should probably, yeah, we're just not going to get all of the districts that we wanted, but we should probably build that. So how many, we need 2 more districts to actually finish before we can, this counts. This is a district. And so is this. So we'll get that star and then we'll bounce, I guess. Since it's only going to be 2 turns anyway. Yeah, it's not a lot of fame. We're certainly not going to be able to get that. Which is a shame, because it's a lot of fame. Yeah, alright. I guess we kind of have a plan. So that is going to be it for us for today, and thank you all so much for watching. We're maybe advancing a little bit more slowly than I would like here. But when you come back next time, tomorrow, we will certainly be moving up into the next era, and I don't know, any kind of strategy we're going to try to put together is going to be based very strongly on whatever cultures are left at this point. And we'll see you then.